Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. And sorry I'm late. I am late on this stream. I've been organising a few things. Sorry, I'm honestly, my nerves are in pieces. I keep thinking it's going to rain again, and today it's actually is a nice day. It doesn't look like it's going to rain, but then I can't get back to my. So for some reason, my whole StreamYard thing has changed, and I can't get back to that round circle that I was doing before. But I will find a way to get back to. I'm not sure why it's changed. Sometimes just at the last minute, all those things happen. My nerves are on edge because I think it's going to rain at any minute. I've been researching all about the floods, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. So at the moment, I'm on camera. May have to go off camera. I've already been crying, and I was just reading about it. So when I start talking about it, it may well get worse, and I may get too upset. So if I disappear off camera, that's the reason why. So yeah, I'm so sorry that I'm not doing the Halloween live that we were all looking forward to do something a bit lighter. But these horrible floods. I mean, I just cannot believe what's happening, because if you're a regular watcher of my channel, you'll know that recently my son had started work. I was taking him off to work. A couple of times that I'd been taking him, I'd say, I told you, it's raining. Oh God, I could hear thunder and lightning and things. But really, where I am, we didn't have it that bad. I mean, it was heavy rain in the night. It was windy. There were storms. There was electrical storms. But I didn't realise what was happening. Not all that far away. That people have lost their lives. Nearly 100 people confirmed to having lost their lives. Many people missing, many people missing. So that death toll is only going to rise, isn't it? And it was just so sudden in the end, because although they've been forecasting AMET, which is Spain's official sort of weather people, they've been forecasting rain, they've been forecasting storms and advising people to stay at home, etc. I don't think anybody knew that it was going to be like this. Apparently in Valencia, where it's been at its worst, it was like a tsunami. It happened so quick. People were out and about in their cars. People were taken completely by surprise. And as I say, 100 people, or nearly 100 people, confirmed dead so far, but so many people missing. And the thing is, when you look at the personal stories of these people, Guardia Civil, policemen, women, their partners, a mother and her baby, at least one, babies, old people in retirement homes, animals. I mean, that when they give the count of people, that doesn't even include the animals, does it? How many animals have died in this? I mean, so our president, Pedro Sanchez, who personally I like, but a lot of Pedro Sanchez is a bit like seems like every country now is like everyone's divided, aren't they? So sort of 50-50. A lot of people think he's great and a lot of people think he's terrible. Personally, I think he's great. But there'll be people out there who think Pedro Sanchez is awful. He's like almost a Donald Trump figure in a way. He's sort of it's this love-hate relationship that people have with Pedro Sanchez. Some people say he's like a despot, that Spain is corrupt and he's the most corrupt person, blah, de, blah, de, blah, de, blah. And other people don't. So, that seems to be how politics is these days. It's all tribal, isn't it? You either, think someone's brilliant or you think they're terrible. There never seems to be any middle ground. And I'm going to show you the speech that he's just made. about this. So he declared 3 days of official mourning because it's especially significant that this tragedy has occurred at Halloween, because Halloween is the day, well, tomorrow is the Day of the Dead, the 1st of November. And this is very, a very serious festival. It is a festival, but it's a serious festival. And when I first came to Spain over 20 years ago, nobody did trick or treating in my village. I dressed my son up. Well, we both dressed up because we were going to a Halloween party after. We went off trick or treating around the village and were greeted with like, okay, what you're talking about. They didn't, the Spanish people didn't practice trick or treating then. That's an American thing, isn't it? So they did practice the serious fiesta on the 1st of October, when they all go to visit their deceased relatives in the cemeteries or wherever they are, crematoriums, or, wherever their bodies are. And, they go with the whole family. It's like a day out. They go out and sort of spend the day, if you like, with their deceased relatives. And it's always been a very serious, but having said that, still a festival. They go and they take some beers and stuff like that. And now it has become more Americanized. That's probably the influence of foreign people on Spain. Spain's always a little bit behind everywhere else because of Franco and because of the fact, they're about 20 years behind in some things. But it's not a bad thing, really. I mean, Halloween, when you think about it, it's all about, trick or treat, and it's all about sweets and candy and all that kind of thing. But whereas the Spanish tradition is more serious, about actually remembering the dead. That's what it's all about in Spain. So it's especially emotional, really, because with it being Halloween, that was another reason I thought I just can't do a live about Halloween, making light of everything when all these people have actually died. It's all right, getting, we all enjoy being spooked and hearing ghost stories and stuff like that, but not when this has happened so recently and people are dead, and God knows what this death toll is going to reach. So it was just so inappropriate. And also all over social media in Spain, it's talking about these 3 days of mourning. Every single Halloween event has been cancelled. Every single one that's organised by the town halls all over Spain, they've all been cancelled. The parades have been cancelled. Just in my little village, they had all sorts planned. There was like a workshop for children, to make their Halloween costumes. That's been cancelled. A little sort of parade for the kids, that's been cancelled. The zombie night, for the older people, if you like, the adolescents. Normally on Halloween, they all dress up as zombies and wander around the village. Everything's been cancelled. Effectively, what you can say is Halloween's been cancelled. And now a lot of bars and restaurants, not only in this area but all over, they've cancelled their, so there'd be bars and restaurants losing out probably on financially, but for a mark of respect, and as the Spanish government has called this 3 days of mourning, they've all cancelled as well. So the particular bar where my son works, they've kept the children's because they give out free, normally at Halloween, they give out free baskets with treats in for the kids. And then they normally have a Halloween party and this, that and the other. Anyway, they've kept the free baskets for the kids. They're still giving them to the kids. They're still open tonight, but they're not doing the Halloween party. They've cancelled. Loads of bars, most bars. In fact, I think, no. I think it's got to a point now where if you didn't cancel, it would look disrespectful. You know, that's just everyone's in mourning for all these people. And they've appealed, there's appeals for clothes, animal food, you know, all sorts of things. So that's the reason. So all this long-winded way is me getting round to telling you why I'm late, because I'm getting together a bag of clothes to send up, clothes, dog like harnesses, leads and things that I've got that, you know, I've bought new ones and I've just kept these old ones as standbys. Stop. And so I've been getting that together. I'm going to send that, we're going to take that tonight when my son goes to work, a bag of clothes, because that's what they're doing. So, you know, when you think about it, you imagine it, when you've been flooded out of your house, you've literally got nothing, have you? No clothes, you know, no food, no nothing. And you've got no nowhere to, I mean, where are they staying? You know, because if you've been swept out of your house, probably your family all live in the same village, because Spanish people tend to live close by to their family. Probably they're all in the same situation, so they must have opened places for them to go. Anyway, there's big collections of clothes. Any clothes, as long as they're in good condition and washed, of course. And I've got so many clothes, you know, and I'm always looking for somewhere to, because I'm a person, I don't spend a lot of money on clothes. I buy cheap clothes. But having said that, because I'd rather have a turnover of clothes, I don't buy designer clothes and things like that. So I've had all these clothes and been meaning to take them. We've got clothes banks, we've got charity shops, and I've just never got around to taking them. And I'm glad now, because I feel like that was God's way, or that I was being led towards not taking them, because now these people really need them. So that's, you know, basically what I was doing and the reason that I was late. But I haven't finished yet. I've still got more to put in. Anyway, I'm waffling. We're gonna talk about this flooding. I'm gonna show you some videos and tell you some of the human stories from what's happened. And I just need to warn people. This is, you know, this may upset you, because, as I say, I was crying about it, just researching it, some of the some things that have happened. So I just want to warn you about that. You know what I'm like, I'm bound to start crying. So my picture disappears off the screen as I'm telling you about these things. You know why? It's just that I can't hold it together. Well, you'll hear it in my voice anyway. Right, first of all, I just want, and I want to say thank you to everybody who sent me messages or emails say, I hope you're okay. I just can't answer all of them individually. I had that many messages and emails. Thank you so much. And as far as the Halloween, oh God, I've been sent so many lovely things for Halloween. And I am going to put together a video. I'm going to put together all the things that everybody sent me in a video, but I'm not going to do it as a live. You know, we were going to, like, you know, do a quiz and have some fun. I was going to tell some spooky stories, etc. I'm not doing that, but I am going to put together all the things that people have sent me. Thank you so much. Put them together in a video, put some music on it or something at some point today. It may not be today, I don't know. And then later on tonight, so I've been meaning to do this update of the Delphi murders. I was going to do it last night at 10:15 after I'd picked my son up from work, but I was so tired because, you know, anyway, Wednesdays are just a really long day. You know, I have so many classes. So, but today I've had classes this morning. I'm going to do this live now. I'm going to have an afternoon chilling. I'm going to have a nap. And then I'm going to come back on tonight and talk about the Delphi murders, because there's lots of things I want to talk about then. I just haven't got around to it. There's always things to talk about, isn't there? Yeah, so just to let you know, that's what's happening later. But at some point, I will be putting out the Halloween video. I just won't be doing a live. I'll be just putting it out. Okay, so let me say hello to everybody, and then I can get going properly. Oh. So thank you for caring about what happens to people in Spain, because you know what? It's difficult, isn't it, when you're in a different country? How often do we hear about wars or floods or earthquakes or famines? And it's, we can't worry about everything, can we? We just can't. I mean, we're human beings. You can only worry about one thing at a time. Sometimes just getting through your own day is hard work, without having to see what disasters are happening to other people. And if you're empathetic, you're going to, get upset for these far-flung places that are far away. Wherever it is, Spain's not that far away from the UK, but it's far away from Australia or America. And, in those countries, they have their own, there might be bushfires, or they have their own floods or hurricanes, or, there's so many things. You can't worry about everything and everyone, but you can send out prayers. Sending out prayers, you can't change what's happening in some other part of the world, or even in your part of the world, especially with these countries. My God, tell you, something's going on, because some music just came on there. I don't even know where it came from. But anyway, so yeah, we can't. We can help by sending out prayers, by sending out good thoughts. Sometimes that's all we can do, but it's better than nothing, isn't it? So, okay, so I'm going to say hello to everyone. Hi, David. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Annie. Hi, Shelley. Hi, Julie. I hope you're okay there in Spain. Hi, Daniel. Oh, Julie, you like Pedro as well. Yeah, we're going to have a look. I like him. A lot of Spanish people don't like him. Maybe it's just British people that like him. I don't know. Hi, Heather. Hi, David. Hi, Dottie. Hi, Matthew. Yeah, only so many hours in a day, David, unfortunately, because there's always more that you could do. But yeah, only so many hours in a day. That's why I get up at 6, because I've got a few more hours then. Yesterday I got up at 6 and I finished work at 8. So it was like, I was tired. But once, I feel okay today. So, oh, Annie, you all put a smile on my face. Thank God for you. Thank God for this channel. Thank God for my chatters. You're all so nice. And if we soon get rid of the not nice ones. They can go to another channel, can't they? No, our community is strong, nice. I know there'll be lots of good thoughts going out, and it does put a smile on my face. And that's what irritates me sometimes, when I haven't got time, because it's not that I don't want to come on and do a stream. I want to. It's like, the mind's willing but the body isn't, because I'm like, oh, I want to get, like last night I wanted to do a stream at 10:15, but I was just so tired. And when I'm talking about things like the Delphi murders or anything that's serious, I don't want to come on when I'm tired, because then I don't give it the best thing it should have. So anyway, when you talk about victims especially, I want to give them the respect that they deserve. I don't want to be tired, and I'm one of those people that if I get tired I get a bit naughty, if I'm hungry I get a bit naughty. So I don't want to do that. I want to come on when I feel that I can give them what they deserve. Okay, so I'm sure you've seen things about these floods on the TV, and positive that you have. because it's been on the British news. It's probably, I know it's been on the American news. I presume it's been on the Australian news as well. So I want to have a look, first of all, what Pedro, our leader, has got to say. So this is Pedro Sanchez, our Prime Minister. Yeah, quite a handsome guy as well. You know, it always helps. But it's not because he's handsome that I like him. I like him because, like, especially during COVID, he did regular updates, and you always felt better after you spoke to him. And not spoke to him or listened to him. And what I love about his press conferences, this is how he did all his COVID conferences. So it was just him. Not, you know, trying to bring in experts and this, that, and the other to try and deflect from the facts, you know, like Boris Johnson did and Matt Hancock and that, to try and deflect from the fact that they're absolute crap at dealing with the situation. Pedro stands there himself. He takes the advice from the experts and everything, and then he comes on. He's the president. The book stops with him. He tells you the truth. What you've got to do, what you can't do, what you can do. Our rules were strict, but you know what? Everybody knew where they were with them. You know, this is the rules. This is what you have to do. And then you know where you are. Clear lines. Also, what I love about Pedro is in the background, of course, he's got the Spanish flag and the European flag. Remember when we used to have the European flag in the background? You know, I don't know. I just, I miss being part of Europe so much. Just feels better. But anyway, and of course, Europe will help a lot. The European Union, they will send money to help Spain. You know, we're not on our own. Spain is not alone, like Britain is on its own now. It won't get any help from Europe. And this is what people always forgot when they were whinging about, oh, we send all this money to Europe. Yeah, how much money did we get from Europe as well for help for things? You know, Britain will always be a poorer country without Europe. But anyway, we won't get into that argument. But so, yeah, Pedro, and he says here, I want to give my solidarity and support of the government to the families of the people who have died in this tragedy, and to anyone looking for their loved ones. We're going to help you however long it takes. We're not going to leave you alone. The whole of Spain is with you. Anyway, let's listen to him. It is in Spanish.
Y por eso sí me gustaría.
I wonder if I can put on the subtitles. I don't think it's letting me. I can't see where I can put on subtitles. Well, I'll translate it.
Buenos días, queridos ciudadanos y ciudadanas.
So he said, good day, dear citizens.
Como saben, ayer nuestro país fue golpeado por la peor dana.
So as you know, yesterday our country was hit by the worst dana. Now a dana is like, I don't know what you would, a dana, I'm not really sure what I would say that was in English, but it's like floods, I suppose, but it's more than that. But let's say the worst flooding this century. So this has been the worst flooding that we've had this century.
En lo que llevamos de siglo. Hay docenas de municipios inundados, carreteras.
So there are dozens of affected, inundated councils, roads, and motorways and roads cut off.
Y vías cortadas, puentes destrozados por la violencia de las aguas.
Bridges destroyed by the violence of the water.
Y quiero, en primer lugar, trasladar en nombre del gobierno de España, pero estoy convencido.
I want to say in the name of the government of Spain, but I'm convinced
Del conjunto de la sociedad española.
The whole of Spanish society, our solidarity,
Toda nuestra solidaridad y el afecto a las familias de las
All our solidarity and affection for the families of the people who have died in this tragedy.
personas que han fallecido en esta tragedia. Que sepamos en la Comunidad Valenciana y en Castilla y La Mancha.
So especially, so it seems to have hit most in Valencia and in Castilla-La Mancha, which is near Madrid. And who now?
Y a quienes a esta hora siguen buscando a sus seres queridos.
So, and who now are looking for their loved ones. So people are searching for their loved ones. Imagine that. Imagine. Just one day, you know, you're just sort of having your dinner like normal and going about your normal life, maybe arguing in your family or whatever. And then the next day, you don't know where they are because they've been swept away by floods. I just cannot imagine how that is. And you'd be thinking, well, maybe you had an argument, or, you know, why weren't you there with them? This is what you'd be thinking. Your dog's maybe been swept away, your pets. Terrible.
España entera llora con todos y con todas vosotros.
So he said, the whole of Spain is crying with you, with all of you.
Nuestra prioridad absoluta es ayudaros.
Our priority is to help you.
Las administraciones públicas
The public administrations are working.
estamos trabajando de forma coordinada para hacer lo posible.
We're working in a coordinated way to do what is possible. And we're going to put all...
Y vamos a poner todos los medios necesarios hoy, mañana y el tiempo.
We'll put all the necessary resources and the time that is needed to recover from this tragedy.
Lo que haga falta para que podamos recuperarnos de esta tragedia. No os vamos a dejar solos.
We're not going to leave you alone.
Nuestro pensamiento, evidentemente, también está con quienes ven su hogar anegado, sus pertenencias destrozadas.
Our thoughts are also with people who have their homes sort of destroyed and all their belongings destroyed.
Su vida cubierta del
or their life covered in mud, because the other thing that's happened, even if you know, this horrible mud seems to have accompanied it, really, and it smells, apparently it's thick, it's cloying, so even if they're you know, they're all okay and they're in their house, but their houses are covered in mud.
Sé que detrás de todos esos daños hay décadas de esfuerzo.
So he says, I know that behind all this damage, there are decades of effort. Because it is, isn't it? It's like your whole life. You know, there'll be old people there, who, you know, that's their whole life in that house.
Proyectos vitales hoy sumidos en la más absoluta incertidumbre.
Oh, I'm going to miss that. But we're also going to help you with all the resources of the state.
Pero también os vamos a ayudar con todos los recursos del Estado.
Yeah.
Si hace falta, de la Unión Europea.
And if it's necessary, the European Union. So imagine, not only you've got like the Spain, you know, the government behind you, but you've got the European Union behind you. This is what, you know, you won't, this is, thank God we are in the European Union.
Para que podáis salir adelante, para que podáis reconstruir vuestros hogares.
So that you can go forward, reconstruct your homes and your lives. I mean, it'll take years, of course.
Y vuestras vidas lo antes posible.
As soon as possible.
A los pueblos y ciudades hoy destrozados por esta tragedia les digo lo mismo. Unidos.
So I say the same thing to all of you.
Vamos a reconstruir vuestras calles.
We're going to reconstruct your streets. We're going to reconstruct your plazas, your town squares.
Vuestras plazas, vuestros puentes.
Your bridges.
Y España entera está y estará con vosotros.
And the whole of Spain will be with you.
Quiero también, una vez más, después de todos estos años que hemos sufrido catástrofes.
I also, once again, after all these years that we've suffered catastrophes,
emergencias de protección civil, una vez más, agradecer de corazón
so again, I want to say thank you to the public services, like, the police, the bombero, the firemen, etc., for their extraordinary work.
a los servidores públicos toda la extraordinaria labor que están haciendo ante esta emergencia. Estas horas siguen trabajando sin
At the moment, they're working without rest.
descanso y son nuestro mejor baluarte contra la adversidad.
They are our best protection against adversity.
Bomberos,
Firemen or fire people. Now, miembros de AUME, members of AUME, I'm not sure what UME is.
miembros de la UME, agentes de la Policía Nacional,
National Police, local police,
también la Policía Local, guardias civiles,
Guardia Civil.
las ONGs, el tercer sector, todos los movimientos ciudadanos que en los pueblos y ciudades se están volcando para ayudar a sus...
Now, something I was talking about this morning, there are so many police in Spain. It's like, I was talking about it with one of my students. You've got the Policía Nacional, Policía Local, Guardia Civil. They'll all be out there helping.
Vecinos y vecinas.
And
Nuestra
neighbors.
entrega es un motivo de esperanza y de orgullo para todos nosotros.
So he's saying that's a feeling of pride and hope for all of us.
Y nosotras. El Comité de Crisis del Gobierno de España que constituimos ayer.
So he's made a committee for the crisis in Spain.
Ante la emergencia, va a seguir trabajando codo con los presidentes autonómicos y con los alcaldes y alcaldesas de todas las zonas afectadas.
So Spain, of course, is divided into different autonomous regions, which are a bit like counties, I suppose, in the UK. But they're more autonomous than that. They're their own their own little sort of, they can make their own laws up to a point. Stop it, Tia. Stop. They can make their own laws up to a point. But then there's the national laws that the national government makes. So that's who he's talking about. So, yeah.
Estoy en contacto con ellos y les he trasladado toda nuestra solidaridad y colaboración.
So he says he's in contact with them all and he's given his total solidarity and, he's going to help.
Las 24 horas del día, todos los días que haga falta.
24 hours a day, every day.
Todavía, evidentemente, ante una emergencia que continúa. Y por eso sí me gustaría pedir a los ciudadanos y ciudadanas que no bajemos la guardia.
So he said he's asking all citizens not to let their guard down because there is more rain forecast as well. So that's quite scary because in these regions that have been the worst affected, it may be that there's more rain coming.
La dana continúa causando estragos. Aún no podemos dar por concluido este devastador episodio.
They're saying we can't, put a conclusion to it yet.
Hay, como saben, aviso naranja tanto en
Still an orange alert in Andalucía
como en la Comunidad Valenciana,
and the
en
Valencian
Aragón,
community,
en Castilla y
Aragon,
León,
Castilla
en
y León,
Cataluña, en
Cataluña,
Extremadura, en Navarra,
Extremadura.
en La Rioja, en Ceuta. En definitiva, todas estas comunidades.
So others are under a yellow. So the highest warning is a red warning. And these places that have had problems, they're still under orange and yellow warnings.
Tienen aviso amarillo según la última actualización de la Agencia Española de Meteorología, de la EMET. Por eso pido a quienes allí residen que extremen las precauciones.
So still need to use precautions.
También todas las medidas de seguridad, que no salgan a la carretera, que eviten transitar cerca de barrancos, de vaguadas, de cauces.
So he's saying still try and avoid going on motorways. Don't go in, like in the campo, because the worst hit places are the more remote places. Cities and towns, etc., are not so badly hit. So he's telling people to avoid going to these sort of places.
Y que atiendan en todo momento a las recomendaciones de los servicios de emergencia y, por supuesto, de las fuerzas y cuerpos de seguridad del Estado. En definitiva, que nadie ponga en riesgo su vida.
Don't put your life in danger. Don't, just try and stay at home. Honest to God, it's like a ghost town in my town. Normally you can hear, God knows, there's normally everything going on, but because of these 3 days of mourning, nobody's in the street. And it's not raining or anything. It's here. It's quite a nice day, but there's nobody about there respecting this day of mourning.
Nuestro país, desgraciadamente, durante estos últimos años ha sufrido muchas emergencias de protección civil y también emergencias sanitarias. Y España da siempre lo mejor de sí mismo en crisis como esta.
So he's saying that in the last few years, and he's probably referring to COVID, we had other floods a few years just before COVID. He's talking about the pandemic. Spain, like many countries, has been through quite a lot of emergencies over the last few years, but I do think he's dealt with them really well. I mean, that's just what I think.
Lo hicimos durante la pandemia de la COVID-19, durante la Filomena, durante la erupción volcánica de La Palma, durante también...
Oh, they had a volcanic eruption in Palma as well.
Bien, otros sucesos de Dana, menos graves que este, y lo vamos a volver a hacer ahora. Así que arrimemos el hombro, ayudemos a quienes no pueden acceder a...
So we're going to do the same this time. We just help people who need it. People who need a home. Imagine not having a home anymore.
Su hogar, a quienes buscan un familiar, a un amigo, a un ser querido.
Or looking for a friend or a loved one.
Y sobre todo a esta hora acompañemos unidos y unidas en el dolor a quienes han perdido a sus seres queridos. Gracias. Buenos días.
Okay, so that's what Pedro had to say. Oh, hang on, let me turn it off. Now, I'm going to read you a story now that will make me cry. Well, it made me cry earlier. Maybe it won't make me cry this time. I'm trying to be professional telling you about it. But it's difficult. Hi, Jem. Hi, Jean Bissett phase. This is a story of maybe I can't do it. I don't know. Anyway, encuentran muertas a Lourdes y su bebé. So they found a woman called Lourdes. Lourdes is a name in Spanish, and her baby. So her friend, su amiga, había denunciado la desaparición. So this is in a place called Pai Porta. I've never heard of it. Pai Porta. Must be in Valencia somewhere, I'm not sure. But this woman's friend, reported her missing with her baby. And anyway, they found their bodies. They found Lourdes and her baby, so they have died. 3 months old, the baby. Look at this. This is the aftermath. It's just unbelievable, isn't it? So apparently Pai Porta is the locality most affected by the Dana. Sorry, it's in Spanish, but I'll just read it out in English. This is where most deaths have been produced. And during Wednesday afternoon, we saw a video of a friend who was asking for help to find Lourdes, who disappeared next to her baby. Finally, this mother has died next to her baby. Her other 2 children were recovered by this friend, who went looking for them. So Lourdes, her husband, and the baby were surprised by the tromba d'agua, is like the flow of water. The police have now confirmed that they died. So unfortunately, we've just been confirmed that Lourdes and her baby have appeared this morning dead. And but thank you to the police that have found them, because again, it'd be worse not to find them, wouldn't it? Well, it'd be better if they were found alive, but anyway, her friends said today there are 2 more angels in heaven. Thank you, everyone. So this was the call that the friend made. She said, "Hello, I'm Clara. I'm a friend of Lourdes Maria, who has disappeared with her daughter, her 3-month-old daughter. We don't know if somebody might have them in some farmhouse or they managed to be safe. I don't know." Tia. Right, I'm going to put her in the bathroom because I can't listen to her barking while I'm trying to read something serious. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so basically a friend didn't know what had happened to her, so she made an appeal, and unfortunately it's been found. They've been found, a mother and her child. God, so look at the cars. Anyway, we're going to look at some other things. On Twitter. So on, well, let me show you this. Look at this. This is it's like some disaster film, isn't it? You couldn't believe that was real. Honest to God, I swear, when I first saw this picture yesterday evening, I thought that's got to be photoshopped. That can't be real. But it is real. Unbelievable. Apocalyptic scenes from Valencia. Look at this. Just doesn't look real, does it? You'd think it was like, a disaster film. Like, do you remember Towering Inferno, or what was the other one? There were 2 came out. You just cannot believe that is real. Looks like something off a film. But it just shows you, doesn't it, that it just shows you how quick it must have come on, because these people were just, driving down the motorway or whatever, and this happened. I mean, I didn't realise that this had, because it hasn't been like this, as say, as bad as this in my area. This is, I think, it'll either be Valencia or just outside Madrid. They're two very affected places. Just unbelievable. I was just speechless. That this, and I was worrying about driving in the rain and everything, but God, this.
Es que es apocalipsis total. Madre de Dios.
I mean, where are all those people that were in those cars? Where are they now? God. Wow. Anyway, let's have a look at this on Sky News.
We've moved one street away from the river now, just to show you really how far the mud travelled. The river that's one street away, 3 of the bridges in that river have now disappeared. So that's really hampering the emergency services coming and trying to get help. They can't cross those bridges, obviously.
3 bridges disappeared.
Which has been pushed up against a tree. And this is one of hundreds and hundreds that we've seen during the course of the morning in our drive down here. This is by no means an unusual sight in this part of Spain. And if we cross over and look at the other side of the road over there, you can see a shop where I think it's a garage actually, and a car is stuck under the roller shutter. And a lot of the roller shutters, a lot of these buildings, the ground floors were used as garages, and we've seen a lot of damage to the roller shutters in these areas. More cars piled up on top of each other up here. And as Rahul,
see what a nice day it is there now. This is how it literally was rain, and then suddenly it's 21 degrees now.
By friends, by family. Look at this one here. They have their wine rack out, their chest, their cabinet out on the street.
Save the wine.
And it is really, really upsetting here. It's a beautiful sunny day. People have come down to help, but for so many of the people living here, the enormity of what has happened in the last 24 hours.
That'd be me. It'd be get the wine out, because if it happens again, I tell you what, if I'm going to be swept away by a bloody Dana, I'm going to make sure I've had a bottle of wine before I go. Do you know what I mean? At least then I maybe won't feel it so much. Now, do you know the Sun newspaper? Well, I'm not going to show it. They on there, honest to God, the mainstream media, they are twonks. So I'm going down on Twitter looking for all the news about the floods in Spain. On the Sun newspaper, they've got a video of an old lady. Well, say an old lady, she was at least in her 50s, 60s, maybe older, being swept away in the water. So she was actually being swept away. And the Sun has got that on its Twitter feed. So you could, as you went down, you can't help but see it, because as you go down the Twitter feed, the video starts playing. and obviously I sent them a tweet or an X or whatever you call it, and said, you know, you do realise this is somebody's loved one, you know, but she can't have survived it. Well, I can't see how they never showed that she'd survived it anyway. So she'd literally been swept away from God knows where, and she was just being carried away by the water. And the Sun newspaper have got it on their Twitter feed, like as if this person, you can't, do you know, that's just not, that is just so wrong, isn't it? They're hateful, aren't they? For spiteful. Imagine, do you think they'd like it if that was their mum, their auntie? Did they not count because they're Spanish? If they showed a British person, you know, in Britain, that happening to, honest to God, I hate this way. It's like they're treating Spain as if this woman didn't matter, as if it wasn't right, it wasn't wrong to show being swept away by the water, probably to her death. Disgusting. You know, it's different going and doing reporting like this lady's doing on Sky News. You know, it's important to report what's happening, but not to show people being swept away to their deaths, is it?
And as you drive along the motorway, you just see car after car after car piled on top of each other. You've seen articulated lorries knocked on their sides. And it's just, it is like a tsunami. It's like a tsunami has swept through this area. And it's the speed that it came through, which is clearly very, very terrifying for people. We've had people in this town whose father went out to move the car because he was worried about the car being damaged. And then he was lucky to escape with his life. He ended up going into a neighbour's house, going into a house where the car was left behind. And then there was a really terrifying wait for his family while they tried to re-establish communications with him. These are all, you know, people's lives that have been absolutely devastated by what's happened.
These are real people. This is not a film, you know. It's this different. They're showing the aftermath, and that's important to see how bad it was. But to actually show on Twitter, you know, some poor woman actually literally being swept away. Oh, it just makes me so angry. And then they'll blame social media for this, that, and the other. Anyway, hi. I just want to say hi to Darcy, hi to Yvonne, anyone I might have missed. Hi, Ghost Cam, Deborah Finney. And I think there was somebody else that I missed as well. Yvonne, did I say hello to Yvonne? Hi, BF. So, let's just watch a bit more of this. And then I want to show you a positive story. I want to show you... Oh.
We came down and the water was increasing. So very fastly we took our parents, well, our grandparents, because our house is this, and their house is the one of, like, the boys are trying to open my grandpa's house.
That is the roller shutter that they're trying to smash up.
And my brother and I didn't want that my grandparents stay there, so we took them to our house. And my parents were buying food as a normal day, so we called them to come as fast as they could. And my parents called my family, well, my uncle, my cousin, because they also live nearby here. And it was so stressful because when they were coming, the water was coming, it was very stressful.
It must have been really scary.
Yeah.
And your parents made it home? They got home?
Yes, they got home.
They got home safely. And you are on an upper story?
Yeah.
You were upstairs, so all of your family are safe?
Yes. And the water...
Well, that's good. All her family's safe. So I would say they've not ever had this happen before. They're really... Has this ever happened before? No, I don't think so. So it is extraordinary, isn't it? Is it climate change? Is it, you know? A lot of people obviously think it is. My son was saying it's probably going to get worse and worse and worse. You know, it seems to have got worse, but it's difficult.
On the night, but the water 4 hours. and you know, you can see everything is destroyed,
Oh.
and
Oh.
it's very hard.
Because and the mud, it's the mud as much. So imagine, you know, that comes through your house, and I mean, I've had it happen, as I showed you, in the basement when we had there was a problem a couple of years ago, but not the whole house. Like, imagine your whole possessions, everything, just awful. Anyway, I want to show you this positive. This is a rescue that just, this made me cry in a good way. So this is a lady and a dog that we rescued. Of course, the heartbreaking thing is a lot of animals will have died, which, as well as people, which is heartbreaking as well. And the police do they do prioritize people, you know, and they've got to, really, haven't they? But having said that, you can see from this, I'm just thinking how I would, when I watched this, I thought, how would they get, well, not only me, I mean, I'm not exactly like, you know, skinny. Me, 3 dogs, and my son. How would they get us all up on this bloody, the helicopter had come crashing down. Just terrifying. Look at that little dog. God, they nearly go under. He's like, come on, lift us up, lift us up. Look at that. Honestly, when I watched this, I was just terrified because I thought, oh my God, I don't like heights. It would be me, as I say, and 3 dogs, one of which is a German Shepherd. And my son, well, they won't be able to take us all up at once because that helicopter won't be able to stand the weight. But I just watched, I thought, oh my God, it's pouring down with rain. She's just clinging onto the guy, clinging onto her dog. Imagine having to go through that. But having said that, they're the lucky ones because they survived. Oh my God. Just going to watch that again because I can't get over it. But she's not even got any shoes on, that lady. I've just put some shoes in the bag, actually. I've got some old shoes I put in. Yeah, no shoes. So she's been rescued. So they're lucky because it's her and her dog, they're alive. But she's not even got any shoes on. So everything else, she's just got to leave there. She's got nothing. You know, it's so, so sad. So very sad. Now, there was one more video I want to show you. Which, if I can find it, because of course I end up losing the videos that I have. But you get the picture anyway, don't you? You can see that, you know, it's a bad situation at the end of the day. But there's so much more to talk about because they're moaning now. Yeah, they're getting angry now about the weather forecast. Why didn't they, why wasn't it forecast properly? Why did it end up taking them so much by surprise? Let's have a look at this one. Here's another video. I mean, there's just countless videos about it, to be honest.
That is unbelievable. Wow.
Yeah, another look. These pictures. The pictures coming out are just unbelievable. You could not, but if you didn't know it was true, you literally just would not be able to believe that it was true. All that water. What do you think of the videos? Oh, this is that lady again. Oh. It just fascinates me, this video, because it's good that they're being safe, but it's scary as well. Look how she's soaking wet through no shoes. See, there was another video on here that I wanted to find. Back on that road. There was a video that I found earlier that was showed so clear. Oh my God! Look at that! Unbelievable. Right. That's Amazon. No. Right, how are you? Gracias. God. Calm down. Gosh. Poor Amazon girl. Okay. Vale. So I think you get the picture. Hi, Jenny. Yeah, I think we've seen enough now, don't we? So, yeah, just came out nowhere like a tsunami, exactly like a tsunami, because it just literally, I've never seen anything as bad as that in Spain. We had quite a bad incident a few years ago, but even that wasn't like this. And unfortunately, the death toll will keep rising because there are lots of people missing. And then the ones that aren't missing, they've got nothing. They've got no clothes. They've got no, they all need help. Sorry, I've got to show you a couple more. You could go on forever. Let's have a look. I hope the government do what they say they're going to do, and help people, because sometimes obviously governments say things and then don't follow through, but I hope they do follow through. It's like Armageddon, isn't it? Look at that. I mean, that is unbelievable scene. You couldn't create that in a film, and it's like any disaster film that you've ever seen. Oh, this is from space. So there's going to be definitely, we talk about refugees a lot, and, there's economic refugees, there's refugees from war, etc. But, there are going to be refugees from climate change. And the ironic thing is, a lot of countries that are just becoming, I'm not talking about Spain. The thing is, Spain's a big country. These people, if they do end up moving from where they live, there's lots of places in Spain they can move to, because Spain's a massive country, so they wouldn't need to leave Spain. But maybe there needs to be some, some of these places that are dangerous to live in Spain. Maybe people need to relocate to other places. I don't know. Where is safe? I don't know where's safe. But there's going to be a lot of climate change refugees as time goes on. Oh, this horse was rescued. Thank God for that. So that's the problem sometimes when you go down Twitter. You can end up seeing something you don't want to see because they're showing it. But anyway, this horse was rescued apparently, so don't worry about this horse, it was rescued. Of course, horses can swim, as can dogs, so you have to hope that even if they get carried away by the current, they do end up washing up somewhere safe and well. Let's hope so. Someone here saying this is weather warfare manipulated by HAARP. I don't know about that, but a lot of people. Oh, this was the video I wanted to show you. Ooh. The people just hanging on to their cars. I hope they, hopefully they were all rescued safe. But I mean, what do you think? Let me know what you think in comments anyway. Is it manipulated? Is this weather being manipulated? A lot of people do think that, but I don't personally believe that. I think there are issues with climate change. But I don't know, a lot of people do think it is being manipulated, so I'm sure some of you will have some views on that. We like to have a little debate, don't we, on my channel, so remember to be respectful though with what you say. I mean, this video just blew my mind. I don't know what I'd do if I was in that situation. I mean, what you sort of, part of you'd want to just sit in your car and hope that it all just went past. But then when you're seeing cars go past, but if you got out of the car, would you get swept away? What would you do? Terrifying. think for me, what I would do is I would try and, if my car got swept away, if you try and sort of direct it towards a tree so it would rest up against the tree, maybe, eh? Don't know what. Okay, so I was sort of looking for that video, so I definitely am going to finish. I think we've seen enough of it now. Hi, Nanny. Oh, Yvonne, no, you're right. There is the Bible as well. This is like end of days stuff, isn't it? Yeah, I think you think staying in the vehicle probably be recommendable, but try and direct it so that it hits against the tree so you can't go any further. You know, you don't want to be just swept away to God knows where, do you? I don't know what the answer is, but hi, Wesley, you always come in at the end of the stream because I'm just about finishing now. Oh, I'm sorry you're in tears. That's how I felt earlier, Ghost Cam. I've been a bit better, I think, because I watched it all earlier, and it was the woman with the baby. When they said they'd found the woman with her baby, that just broke my heart, you know. But there's so much more to show. I mean, I literally could be on stream all day talking about this. You know, how some people are getting angry now with the weather forecasters, that, you know, the government weather forecasters, because they didn't predict it properly. You know, there's all sorts of things going on. But anyway, I'm going to finish it there. Just prayers for everyone affected. As I say, I'm going to pack up. I've got some more clothes to put in this bag, and I'm going to take that off. And everybody, the thing is about these sort of situations, they're horrible, but they do bring out the best in people. You know, people start to donate money or clothes. Thing is, it's not money really that they need now, I don't think. You know, they've still got their money in the bank. You know, it's not about that, is it? They haven't got any clothes, they haven't got any possessions. Even just simple things like toiletries and things that you wouldn't think of. Dog food. There'll be dogs out there. There's refuges out there, dog refuges who are struggling. You know, they've gone completely underwater. You know, and a lot of animals will have deceased, sadly. But the ones that are left, they need food. Maybe all the food's been ruined that they had, and you know, so they need. You know, it's not so much a money thing. It's just that they need things now, don't they? So they can't be going out and buying stuff and what have you. What they need is people to take clothes. So they've got something to wear now, that they've got some shoes to wear now. That lady that was hauled up from the helicopter, had no shoes on. You know, where is she now? There must be centres. Anyway, it's all happening. So there's a big motivation, not only from the government, because of course what you get as well is from, you know, all over Spain, all over the area, people will be sending things. My one bag of clothes in itself is not much, but if everybody sends a bag of clothes or whatever, it's a lot, isn't it? So that's how it'll work, and they've got to start rebuilding their lives. Hopefully, their homes will be fit to live in afterwards, once they've cleared all that mud out, etc. And hopefully people get reunited with their loved ones and the death toll doesn't rise too much more. So yeah, prayers for all involved, candles. Oh, which reminds me, I'm going to light a candle. Do you know this? Oh, I've got another candle here that I can light, because that candle, the wick's gone too far down. Doesn't seem much, does it? Lighting one candle, you feel like you've got to light, you know, a candle for every single one of them. But so prayers for anyone who's been affected, whether it's their family, their loved ones, their pets, whatever. Prayers, thoughts. Let's hope you know, they get sorted soon. I mean, let's just hope there is no more rain. That's the main thing. If there's no more rain, if the weather stays as it is at the moment with the sun shining, it'll be much easier to get cleared up, won't it? But if it starts raining again, it gets more difficult. But I'll be back tonight. I'm going to be talking about Delphi tonight that I've been meaning to. Again, I'm so sorry I'm not doing the Halloween live, but I know you all understand it because you're all so lovely. So thank you so much. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, as always, may your God go with you. Bye.